Welcome to All Football. I'm Rob Motti. Wild Card Weekend is here. Exciting games on tap. 6 games in all. 49ers against Philly. Buffalo against Jacksonville. So many others. Looking forward to all of the great action Wild Card Weekend. Black Monday saw 4 more coaches get fired. Tough times for coaches. A lot of teams out there now looking for a new head coach, looking for new leadership. Our guest this week is Titans defensive tackle Jeffery Simmons. Really enjoyed my conversation. Stay tuned for this one. Ravens rookie kicker Tyler Loop missed a 44-yard field goal that would have sent Baltimore to the playoffs as the AFC North champion, and it would have sent the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin home. Instead, it's Lamar Jackson headed into the offseason. Now, Tyler, you could see instantly felt terrible about it, as any player would. John Harbaugh had to walk with his arm around the kid to the locker room after the game. And he handled it well. He handled it as best as he could at his locker, addressing the media. And then if he turned on social media, which I hope he didn't, Ravens fans absolutely destroyed the kid. And I understand being mad, being angry, being disappointed that your team didn't win. But the nasty comments, the vile comments, not only attacking Tyler, but going after his fiance. There's a picture of him just getting engaged and attacking her. It's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. There's no justification for it. Fans just have to do better. Jeffery Simmons is one of the NFL's best interior defensive linemen, and he is Tennessee's nominee for the 3rd straight season for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Jeffery, thanks for coming on the show, man. I know the season hasn't gone the way that you guys would have hoped, but from a personal standpoint, right? You make the Pro Bowl for the 4th straight year. You've got a career high in sacks this season. How do you view the way the year went for you?
And I'm always a team first guy, so I, of course, start off with my team. It haven't been a year we expected. Coming out of training camp and, OTAs, the hopes were very high. The standards were very high, and personally, I thought we had something. I thought, which we, our team, we still have a solid team, and the record don't show that. But when you turn on the tape, you're like, man, these guys play hard. They play together, but obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted to go. But man, I'm grateful. To the work I put in this offseason was on purpose. It was everything I did this offseason, it had a purpose, I should say. From changing my diet, to the way I was committed with my workouts, just everything, my mobility and things of that nature to, throughout the season, one thing that I'm big on is, going back and reflecting, the season didn't go well for me. What could I have done better? And the biggest thing, the word I kept coming back to was consistency, with my diet, the way, I'm taking care of my body. There's probably, out of my career, probably the most I've spent in the cold tub and, just taking care of my body, I would say. And that just come from, what I'm putting into my body, the food, the alcohol and things of that nature, to where, you don't realize it affecting you till it really affect you and you do the reflecting. So, man, I'm grateful to have the support system around me. Of course, my teammates and, off the field, I have a great mentor, my uncle Jason Hatcher, who, each and every week he texting me and pushing me to, wanting more. And, to have that supporting cast and, down to my nutritionist to checking in with me every week. How's things going? What's your weight? And, your body fat and things of that nature, all that stuff matter. And I would just say, man, just the commitment and the consistency that, because the football stuff is going to take care of itself. And and that's stuff I try to preach to our young guys, like sweat, it's not so much of what you do on the football field. Football is what I've been doing since I was 5. Is how can I sustain playing good? How can I sustain from, injuries? Yes, I had a hammy, but it was like, man, how you bounce back so fast from the injury? From a hamstring injury. And that just goes back to started this offseason and being committed and consistent throughout the season that helped me bounce back from an injury. So, like I said, man, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to, be headed to the, my 4th Pro Bowl. That's a big blessing. And, of course, I wouldn't be able to do it without my coaches and teammates. But, man, it's been a rough season. And, to get them type of accomplishment, It means a lot, from the fans and the coaches and the players around the league.
When you think about the future and you look at what Cam Ward was able to do this year as a rookie, see, like I'm looking at his numbers, and just from the outside, you see Peyton Manning threw 28 picks in his rookie season. Cam Ward's protected the football. He's done a lot of good things. How excited are you about the future? What's impressed you the most about playing with him?
His poise, I'm excited. I told our media after I think it was one home game, or maybe on the road. I was like, this is the reason why I'm so excited for our future here in Tennessee. And he's one of the reasons, to see our young guys go out there and compete the way they compete, to see them come to work each and every day, it make you excited for the future. It make you excited to come to work, even throughout a rough season, because you know what you're gonna get out of the quarterback play. A guy who, he competitive as hell. Everyone saw how, we kind of was join back in training camp. Like, I knew then, this is a competitive guy, and we're gonna be in great hands. So, he's a guy who come in with that attitude. Even in captain meeting, he was joking around today, talking about let's go full pass today. Of course joking, but man, he's a competitor, man. His poise and his will to want to win, it shows each and every day. And then on Sundays, some of the things he do on Sundays, I'm on the sideline like, bro, throw the ball away, but then he make a play like, bro, I remember just sitting on the sideline like Sunday, and I'm like, bro, throw the ball away, please. Like, he running, I'm seeing Chase Young come from backside again. I'm like, man, throw the ball, and he just magically, you get a first down. So it's just things in that nature too, where that's the type of thing that excites you, and you understand the reason why, he had them capabilities of being the number one pick. I'm sure, this offseason they're going to do a hell of a job of getting him some more weapons on that side of the ball and helping them out. And hopefully we can find that right head coach to keep elevating his game, because, I'm a defensive guy, but when you see growth, growth. And Cam have gotten better throughout this year. So it's very exciting.
We mentioned the Pro Bowl, and you've been also second team All-Pro a few times. There's a lot of individual awards, Jeffrey, in this sport, right? But the one that guys often talk about, is so special, so meaningful to them, is the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because it recognizes what you do off the field, what you do in the community. What would it mean? 3 years in a row you've been the nominee for your team. What would it mean to you to get that award?
Man, I think that's the, you always look at the, man, I want to be Defensive Player of the Year. I want to be, this, that, MVP. But when you talk about the Walter Payton Man of the Year, and I always tell people, I don't do the things I do in the community for that award. Of course it's come with it, and I'm grateful to be able to represent the Titans, but for the third year in a row. But that award, it's the reason why that award announced last at the NFL Honors, because that's just how much that award means. So to talk about this award, man, to bring that award to Tennessee for the first time, I would be lost as word, because that stands for something. Not just your game on. And I remember being on the Zoom with all the other 31 guys like 2 weeks ago, and I was just talking about just the work we are doing. It's not done, and I kind of shared a little bit about just what happened to me a weekend right before I got on that Zoom to these young guys and these kids in our community. They really need us, and that's what my foundation is surrounded, is the youth. And each and every day I can step in the community to make someone's day better, to just be the light that I know that we need, and to continue to use my platform to be able to I guess, uplift our youth. I think that's what means the most to me, because our youth need us, and that's kind of what I kind of said even in my interview here. I did kind of, I'm sure you saw, like, with the break-in that happened in my house. And when you turn on the video, like that film that I saw, all them guys look young. And it just, what if somebody with our platform could have touched one of them kids to just pull them out the street? And I think that's the biggest thing that I try to do with my platform, no matter if it's here or back in Mississippi. Because, like I said, that's the reason why I wanted to target our youth, because I know how much I know how easy it is to step in that field, to want to be in the streets, to want to I guess, game bang or whatever it may be. Like, I know how easy it is, especially when you're in a city like this or when you're in a small town that I'm from. So, it would mean the world to me to be able to bring that trophy back to Nashville, because it just wouldn't be representing me. It'd be representing all the people around me, all the people that have helped me continue to use my platform, and just the both communities that I serve here and in Mississippi. So
it's time for Pro Picks, the playoff edition. We went 2-2 straight up last week, 3-1 against the spread. So the 4-pack finished the regular season 51-20-1 overall, 44-27-1 against the spread. That's a 6-10 winning percentage. There are 6 games this weekend. I'm going to give you 2 because I just don't love all of them. I've got to pick them all. I'm going to give you 2, and I'm going to start with the best bet. LA Rams 12-5 at Carolina. The Panthers were 8-9. They backed into the playoffs as the NFC South champion. Now, the Panthers stunned the Rams 31-28 at home on November 30th. Matthew Stafford threw 2 interceptions in that game, including a pick 6. Bryce Young had one of his best games of the season. He was 15 of 20, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. LA was in the race for the number 1 seed up until they lost back-to-back games to Seattle and Atlanta week 16 and 17. In Carolina, as I said earlier, they kind of backed into the playoffs. They got in when Atlanta beat New Orleans to eliminate Tampa Bay. Go figure. It was crazy in the NFC South. Panthers are the number 4 seed. They are the 5th team to reach the playoffs with a losing record. Now, of the first 4, including the Panthers, who did it in 2014, those teams are 2-2. Also, here's another stat. Road teams in the playoffs that have at least 4 more wins than their opponent, in which the LA Rams do. They've got 12. Carolina has 8. Those road teams in the playoffs are 2-6. But I don't care about all that. The Rams are just a much better team. So forget about playoff history. Rams 30-16. The other game I'll give you, Buffalo 12-5 at Jacksonville 13-4. The Bills are 1.5-point favorites. They didn't win the AFC East, ending a 5-year run, so they've got to take that wild card route. They're the number 6 seed, but Josh Allen and the Bills, they don't have to worry about the Chiefs this year. Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City didn't make the playoffs. They knocked the Bills out 4 out of the last 5 seasons. Now, the Bills got an NFL rushing champion in James Cook. Take some pressure off Josh Allen, but he's going up against the Jaguars' number 1 run defense in the NFL. Whereas on the flip side, Trevor Lawrence had a great year in his first season under Liam Cohen, but he's going up against the NFL's number 1 pass defense in Buffalo. I think the Jaguars are ahead of schedule under Liam Cohen. They've won 8 in a row to close out the season, including a victory against Denver. Whereas the Bills and Sean McDermott and Josh Allen, it's now or never. I'm taking Bills 26-23. That's it for this week. Thank you to Jeffery Simmons. Thank you for listening to On Football. And thank you to Hyatt Pinjwani and Guillermo Gonzalez for producing this episode. Please check out apnews.com for the full pro picks, on football analysis, and more NFL news.